Proteas is what South Africa is well known for overseas. It's one of our flagship species, and especially that of the fynbos, because most of the Proteas occur in fynbos. And worldwide there's about 800 species occur both in Australia and South Africa. But in South Africa there's about 400 species, of which Protea are the largest group. So within the family Protea or Protea family, there are a number of smaller groups, like for instance the pincushions, the Proteas, the stompies, mimetes, cerurias, leucodendron, the tolbosse, for instance. But let's start with what our national flower, the true flagship species for South Africa, and that is Protea cineroides. And it's amazing that this plant, well depicted here as well as in the book, small wonder that's been used worldwide as a cut flower because of that just stunning beauty of its beautiful colorful bracts. But what is interesting about this plant, unlike many other Proteas, many Proteas after a fire have to reseed, start from seeds, but Protea cineroides can be cut down by fire right to the base. In other words, even if you prune them down to nothing, the plant will resprout. It has what we call a lignotuber, and this is a tuber that sits subterranean below the soil, so it's adapted very, very well adapted after fires just to simply resprout. And therefore in the cut flower industry it's a very handy plant because one can prune it. And Protea cineroides also have a very wide distribution from the Cederberg right to Port Elizabeth in the east. So Cederberg in the north, all along the Cape Floristic Mountains. And the other interesting feature is the giant Protea, as it's also known. It's got lots of variation, so which make it very easy for the plant breeders, because they need this genetic material to breed superior forms. So they vary a lot, from quite yellowish to very dark red forms. So each area in South Africa, each mountain range would have a different form, but they all have got the same characteristics. They've also got very attractive leaves, spoon-shaped leaves, leathery, and which are the same on both sides, well adapted to summer dry conditions. So one must remember these plants grow in areas which receive only winter rainfall with long dry summers. So it's a very well adapted, these leathery leaves. But if one thinks of other Proteas as well, usually Proteas are pollinated by sugar birds, most of them, but there's a group of low Proteas, for instance the little Protea amplixicaulus or Protea sulfurea, beautiful low-growing shrubs. But the amazing thing is these smaller Proteas, the flowers are hidden and they point towards the ground, and there's a reason. When they're in flower, they emit a yeast-like odor, which not attract birds but mice. So they discovered that mice are the main pollinators of these smaller Proteas, and they've got shy flowers. These flowers literally point to the base, but they've got lots of nectar, and that's what mice needs or feeds mice. And for especially the Cederberg, Protea sulfurea, there's a lot of rodents around, and there are very little open water, so that literally feeds them during a time of drought, and also the sugary substance, good food for the plants as well. But it's not only the mice, the other Protea as well, which is interesting. There's a large group, almost the same size, about 78 species of the tolbosse, the leucodendrons, and these plants known as tolbosse do not have colorful flowers in a sense, but what happens is when they come into flower, the bracts around the flowers become yellowish, and they're often also termed geelbosse, and they make use of the wind to pollinate them. So occur usually in dense stands, and there's one commodity which is so common in the Western Cape, and that is wind. Wind is blowing all the time during the summer months, the prevailing southeast winds. So many plants make use of the southeast winds, and especially the leucodendrons, to get their pollen blown, and it's also the only group in a Proteaceae where the sexes are separate. In other words, you get male flowers and female flowers. And the female flowers develop small little cones, and at fertilization these cones have got fertile stigmas, and the wind just blows the pollen as a dust, which pollinates them. So leucodendrons are also useful because they are wonderful plants. They use a lot in the cut flower industry as well.